Hi, my name is Henry, and I have been living in Asia for over the last 2 years, and it has been a giant lifestyle upgrade. If you're looking to retire or become a digital nomad and live somewhere you can actually thrive, then I highly recommend places I will talk about. Now, let's be real, Asia isn't perfect. Some countries struggle with air pollution, the cultural differences can be jarring, and rainy seasons can bring heavy monsoons and floods. But for me, the trade-offs are well worth it. Now, this list will be based on how easy it is to get a visa, the friendliness of the people, the level of English spoken, the cost of living, and the quality of life you can have in these countries. Of course, the choices are subjective. Now, the first place on the list, you probably already know about, but there's a reason it's on the list. Thailand is a classic expat destination, and for good reason. It's affordable, vibrant, and offers a mix of city and nature. You have bustling Bangkok and beautiful little islands like Koh Samui. Now here are the pros and cons of Thailand. A big pro is the affordable cost of living. Comfortable modern apartments in Bangkok cost between $450 and $800, but they can also go up to over $1,000. Now options range from simple studios, one-bedroom apartments to luxurious multi-bedroom units. You also have delicious food. Street food is incredibly cheap, less than $2 a meal, and there's also a variety of cuisine if you want something a little bit different and usually isn't too expensive. You have quality healthcare. Private hospitals in Thailand provide excellent care at a fraction of the price of Western hospitals. Public transport is also really good. You also have a welcoming community. Thailand has a large expat community, so you won't be lonely. You will find it very easy to make friends if you put yourself out there. And lastly, many different kinds of places to stay. You have Bangkok, Koh Samui, Chiang Mai, so you can get a variety of different lifestyles in one country. Also, another pro is that the people there mostly speak decent enough English. English is not as widely spoken as somewhere like Singapore, but people know enough you can get by, so you won't feel as lost. Thai people are pretty friendly as long as you don't piss them off. You're not rude to them. You can be pretty friendly, pretty relaxed. Now, these are some cons that you might encounter: overcrowding and over tourism. Popular spots can be overrun. Traffic as well can be very difficult to navigate. Rainy season can be very annoying if you don't have a car. On top of that, flooding can also be an issue, and during the dry season it can be very hot and humid. Lastly, air pollution can be very bad near Chiang Mai. Air pollution can be really bad during the burning season, so keep that in mind. Now, one of the strong points of Thailand is definitely the options for long-term visas. They have a digital nomad visa, basically a long-term resident visa for digital nomads or highly skilled workers that have a sufficient amount of funds. They have the retirement visa for those aged over 50. They have a smart visa for highly skilled workers, and then they have the education visa. If you want to learn Muay Thai or you want to learn the language, then you can stay there for a certain amount of time as long as you attend a school. So there are a lot of options for visas. They are used to many foreigners coming, so it'll be a lot easier to adjust to life there. Now, this is the reason why Thailand is number one on the list. I think if you want to live abroad in Asia, then Thailand is the one place you should consider first. But if Thailand isn't what you're looking for and you want something different, or you want to go away from the crowds, because this is a little bit more off the beaten path, but it still offers modern luxury at affordable prices. Now, let's look at Malaysia. Malaysia is often overlooked, but it has a lot to offer. Now, let's look at the pros. The affordable living. In Kuala Lumpur, rent ranges from $315 to $800. A single person can live on around $570 to $600 a month. Of course, it can be up to $800 or $1,000 if you live a more luxurious life. Along with the affordable cost of apartments and general living, the food there is pretty diverse. You can enjoy Malay meals, Chinese, and Indian cuisines. Plus, you have many international options like Japanese and Middle Eastern. You surely won't get bored. You always have something you want to eat. Now, English spoken in Malaysia is very high. It makes day-to-day life a lot easier. So if you want somewhere where there will be easier communication, maybe Malaysia and Kuala Lumpur will be a great place to consider. And the modern infrastructure. I think Bangkok, Singapore are some cities with great infrastructure, very modern. Kuala Lumpur, it's also developing very rapidly. They're always trying to improve the infrastructure to reduce traffic. Although there is traffic, but they try to fix this. And the public transport is very good there as well. Now, some cons: the flooding flooding can be pretty devastating in Malaysia, especially during the rainy season. And like Thailand, Malaysia is also pretty safe. Of course, in both these countries, there will be petty crime like purse snatching or phone snatching. If you use common sense, then you should be fine. Now, the visas here are not as easy as Thailand. Malaysia has a second home visa. It is called the Malaysia My Second Home visa. It's for retirees and long-term residents with proof of financial stability. So they definitely do not want to attract people who will run out of funds and be stuck in a country and have to beg for money. They want qualified, well-off individuals to help improve their economy as well. And they also have a visa. So Malaysia offers a balanced lifestyle with vibrant cities, diverse cultures, and great food. And you can have an affordable cost of living if you live a modest lifestyle, reasonable size apartment, or you can have luxury at a affordable cost. Whatever kind of life you want to live in Malaysia, you can definitely have. But what if you want something more tropical, something more proven as a digital nomad or retiree destination? Then I think this next place is somewhere you should definitely look at. So the Philippines is often considered the best place to retire in Southeast Asia. It's known for its stunning islands, friendly locals, and very straightforward visa process. So like I mentioned, one of the biggest pros of living in Philippines, it's a very beautiful and tropical country. You have iconic spots like El Nido and Boracay, some of the world's best beaches. English proficiency is also very high, just like in Malaysia. Many American retirees have been moving to the Philippines for a long time, so locals speak pretty good English. And on top of that, Filipinos are pretty friendly. Some cons of the Philippines include traffic. There's obviously traffic everywhere, but in the Philippines, in the major cities, it can get pretty bad. The infrastructure in Manila can be pretty frustrating. Development hasn't kept pace with population growth. So these are just two things to consider. And now let's look at the visas. One of the best things about the Philippines are the visas. You have the long stay visa extension. You can extend your tourist visa. Special resident retirees visa. It's for retirees ages 50 or older. It makes living in the Philippines long-term very easy. So the Philippines offers a tropical paradise, easy living for retirees and digital nomads. Now, if you're tired of Southeast Asia and you want to move closer to East Asia, you like to explore more of China, Japan, Korea, then let's look at this place in Asia. Taiwan is not as popular as somewhere like Korea or Japan. However, it combines modern amenities with natural beauty at an affordable cost. You don't want to live somewhere expensive like Korea or Japan. Now, one of the biggest pros of Taiwan is the cost of living. For an East Asian country, is pretty affordable. Taipei is more affordable than Seoul or Tokyo. Overall cost closer to a city in Southeast Asia. It also has delicious food. It has a unique blend of Japanese, Chinese, and Taiwanese flavors. Good transport. The MRT in Taipei is very good. It can get you around wherever you need to go. But you can also get a scooter and learn to ride there. Although I've heard that traffic is very bad there. It can be very hectic. So if you're not experienced driving, then maybe consider taking the bus, taxi, or the MRT. On top of that, it's very peaceful there, very safe. Locals are very friendly. They kind of leave you alone. And lastly, Taiwan has top-notch healthcare. It ranks highly for its healthcare system. Now, let's look at the con. One con is the lack of English. So if you know Mandarin, you'll do a lot better there. So just keep that in mind. It might be a little bit more difficult to adjust. You will have to learn a language if you want to live there long term. Also, making friends with locals can be a little bit difficult. I've heard many stories of locals in Taiwan being more closed off or not as open to making friends with foreigners, especially if there's a language barrier. The culture might be hard to adjust to if you're very outgoing, and frequent earthquakes can be scary. So if you're scared of that, reconsider Taiwan. Now let's look at the visas. The visas here are not as good as the other countries, but there are some options. You have the employment gold card, flexible for highly skilled professionals if you can find a job hiring foreigners or if you want to teach English over there. You have the entrepreneur visa if you want to start a business there, and also get permanent residency after 5 years of continuous living in Taiwan. So the visas are not as good as the other places, but there are some options. I'm sure if you look hard enough, try hard enough, you can find a way to get into the country and live there long term, or at least for a few months. So if you're tired of Southeast Asia and if you want nature and something more peaceful, then I think Taiwan is a very good choice. So each of these countries offers something different, something unique for expats or retirees, whether it's the vibrant culture of Thailand, the modern charm of Malaysia, tropical paradise of Philippines, or the peaceful life in Taiwan. The key is finding a place that matches your lifestyle and priorities. Now, which country appeals to you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you've lived in any of these places, I'd love to hear your experiences.